Welcome to Retro Brothers, and we're here for our second week in a row, which is brilliant. My name's Andy.
My name's Dave. Yeah, I can't believe it, actually.
No.
We were supposed to do it last night.
Yeah, we nearly can. Yeah, can we do it tomorrow? Yeah, because it's just how it happened. But we're here.
Yeah, we're here now.
We've got coffee.
We've put it here. Last time we were sat and we were staring at coffees that were just out of reach.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed, but you don't know because we kept going.
I think I longingly looked at my coffee going, "Oh, I could just do with that right now." But yeah, so we've put a little coffee table in between. I mean, it's got to be comfortable for us. Yeah. So,
and the difference this week is I've got my phone, not my tablet, because I'm in a queue. 572,490.
Yeah, you want some Oasis tickets, don't you?
To get some Oasis tickets, yes. So if you see me keep looking down, what I didn't want to do is go, right, let me pick it up. But...
So we're going to do our podcast while he books his tickets for Oasis.
Listen, we'll finish the podcast before I'll even get to end the queue.
Probably will, sure. And we've got a cat down there for our new director. And I'll get a picture of you so people can see. Yeah. And I will put it on.
I'll put it up there or there somewhere. Although we did say that last week and somehow his pictures didn't...
Yeah, interesting that, isn't it? How I didn't put them on.
Never mind.
So, got a few things to talk about. Some, obviously, retro and some newish news. I'll start off with AI. AI has become like one of those things where everyone's going, oh, God, another video about AI.
Buzzword.
And it does push people's ratings up sometimes on YouTube. And I'm not doing it for that because I always want to talk about. I actually subscribe to Chat GPT. I always have to say it slow because I always say it wrong otherwise. But it's like it's good.
Yeah.
And they're going to come out with video generation this year, which I'm really looking forward to. I mean, the ones that they're showing look a bit too good because when you look at and that tells a seven-finger human.
Is that what you're going to get?
Yeah, I mean, the wheels will come off and then pop back on and stuff. Because don't really know, but like AI essentially it starts to hallucinate, doesn't it, and starts making stuff up. But Google that. Our podcast would be way too long to go through how AI hallucinates. But essentially, it has to make stuff up, and if it doesn't have the information, the model, that's how I understand it. But so ChatGPT is good. I mean, it's winning out amongst all the others.
And a lot of others are based on ChatGPT anyway. So,
similar models. I mean, let's face it, the models are all based on what they control on the internet. I know we talked about Google last week, and Google bought out the rights to the information on Reddit, and I'm like. What, you think you're going to get accurate information on Reddit? I mean, I like Reddit. I enjoy it.
It's like having AI in it based on Wikipedia. But do you know what's really funny, and we're going off topic a bit, Wikipedia, a lot of people go, oh, no, it's true. Why? I read it on Wikipedia. I'm like, right, okay.
Take it with a pinch of salt. Well, it's always said to my kids, whenever you're looking at something on the internet, whether it's on Wikipedia or just take it with a pinch of salt. But some of the stuff now, I won't mention which one it is that comes down sometimes, and not so much now, but when they were a bit younger, they say, "Oh, so and so said this on YouTube, so it's true."
Yeah,
it's like no. I mean, obviously ours is factually correct.
Of course it is, even though, 90% of it's guesswork. Not no, 90% of it is. Do we actually remember our facts? They are facts. It's just remembering them.
It's remembering at our age,
because we are retro.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Claude AI. We're kind of a bit behind on talking about it, but I don't want to talk about it just purely because it does this, it does that. I saw some YouTube videos where Claude AI is basically better at helping coders because, I don't know, Chat GPT's okay, but when you say make me this, it kind of does it, and then if you add it. All right, but can now you add this? Yeah, no, it is. It rewrites the code again. It's like, no, can you rewrite with what you've produced?
Not completely
do it, and then it just breaks. But Claude AI, I've been subscribed to it for about 3 weeks, and I'm like testing out some of the stuff that people reckon that you can do with it. And like one of the first tests were like, right, I'll see how far we can get with this. And I know I talked to you about it the other day, but it's for these guys now. But it was like, I thought, right, I put in, make me a Doom style game that can run in a single web page. That's all I said. So I went, yeah, no problem. Create the code. I had no idea because I'm not a JavaScript person, and it was mainly JavaScript from what I could tell. So I dumped it straight. Now you can Claude AI allows you to run some of the stuff, but there's certain things if it needs like external libraries or whatever, or it needs to pull libraries from something. It doesn't always do it, so you have to download it. So I downloaded it, and it gave me. It was like pre-Doom style. It was a 3D maze that it created, and I didn't
Wolfenstein.
kind of Wolfenstein, but there were no textures. It was like a shading on the walls, so it was like bright at the top and dark at the bottom, and you could walk around, but there were no collisions and no enemies or anything. So right, okay, how far can I get with this? Right, I want some enemies. All right, give me some enemies, and I want them to run after me or search for me, and then kill me. So it just created these red squares, polygons, and these polygons were like bleeding through the walls and everything, and it was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I asked for that. Yeah. I didn't tell them specifically, so I went, right, I don't want any clipping, so I want to be able to bump into the walls and not clip through the walls. Right, okay, I did that, but I kind of stuck. When you walk, it's stuck, and every time you collided, it stopped you from moving, so you felt like you were sticking on the walls. And then I got it to fire, so the player could fire at the enemies and stuff. So I got as far as that, and then I said to it, I want textures. It's like, I can't give you textures, I can't produce images. Now Claude, that's the thing with Claude, it doesn't actually have an image generator. So if you say, create me an image, it goes, I can't do that. So that's a downfall of Claude. So I said, right, okay, but can you make something up? So it generated this sort of coded texture out of, and I'll be honest with you, this is why my level of programming gets too far. Like it would generate in this Unicode or something. It would just generate in a load of characters, which we're going to convert into an image. But it got so far, and it went, no, I'm done. I can't generate any more characters. So okay, it got so far, but if you want textures and stuff, you're going to have to provide it with images and stuff, and you can't attach them. So I tried that, and I tried a few other things as well, like a few more little single, and this were on a single page web games and stuff. It's actually quite good. And I was comparing ChatGPT to it, and I'd say if you wanted to learn a code or you want help with code, not for it to write something from scratch, Claude AI is pretty decent. It's well worth looking at. I think they do a free version. I'm not too sure, but I have subscribed to it.
Yeah, how much is it?
It's about 18 quid a month.
Okay.
So.
Or $19.
No, $19 US dollars. Yeah, but you do the conversions. It's not hard. It's 1.2 times. But yeah, it's pretty good, and compared to like Gemini. I mean,
Yeah, I think Gemini is, but I mean you can tell it's Google. Yeah, it's very, it's Google specific when it. I mean the curious thing is, and Samsung have done it. Samsung got Samsung AI, and and the marketing is it's baked into the phones, but it's not. It's basically you get it free for a year, then you subscribe. So it's not really. It's nothing to do with the phones. It's software in it, so it's not as if it's in your phone. It's there for life. And I've noticed Google have done the same with the Pixels. You get Gemini free for a year.
Yeah.
On the 9s that have just been released, so you get Gemini free for a year. I've looked at Gemini. I've played a little bit with Gemini. It's another thing. So it used to be called something else. It wasn't called Gemini. So even before Gemini, Google did have an AI. I can't remember what it was called, but they decided to disband that and come out with Gemini in January, as Google do. So it's still, I'm still not convinced. I went to a Google event and saw a demo. You'd think they'd prepared it early, but they went off to try and do an app, Google app, and it failed. It just failed completely. So it was pretty embarrassing for them, really.
I think this is the state of it at the moment, though, isn't it? Like AI's been with us a long time. I mean, there's an upsurge because of NVIDIA and everything else. You've been able you leverage GPUs for that sort of thing.
It's getting the best out of it for me because a lot of people, I mean, a lot of businesses especially now going, oh, we want AI, let's use it. But it's like, you're saying you want AI.
For what?
For what? So you've decided you want you want a product for a solution you don't even have.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing.
I think
so. People are scrambling to doing AI projects just to try and get something that they probably could do easily, automate it in another way.
I mean, everyone's doing it. Everyone's trying to leverage and bolt on this AI. I mean, I played with an AI module for a PBX software. You know, they're all singing, all dancing. You know, you can ring in and it'll have a conversation with you. You type in what it's supposed to say. So you say you are a sales assistant or you are a support assistant, and you can upload documents with technical details and stuff. So it's clever, but it wasn't quick enough.
Yeah.
So you'd say, I'd like to speak to somebody about this. And he'd go, please wait. And you're like, it's not quite good.
Yeah.
And then someone on the webinar went, can't someone just go onto your system and tell it to do something it shouldn't be doing? And he went, yeah, that's where you've got to put instructions of what it's got to do. And like, I mean, how long before someone managed to work out? I mean, I think this is going to be the new sort of route into software, where if you're able to tell it to do something or ask it something, but you can ask it in a certain way that it breaks it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's but I mean, Claude, going back to Claude, it's good. It's better. I think it's better for helping out development. Is it going to write you something from scratch? No. I know those people online who go, right, I'm going to spend my challenge is 24 hours and it's pure AI programming me a game and stuff. And that's the thing. If you type something in, like even a long paragraph, and you expect it to do something, it ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
But it'll start it off and you can slowly increment it. And people have brought out good, decent games, like basic platformers and stuff. But it's taken them like hours of iterations of, right, now can you do this? Right, but can you tweak that? Sort of thing. I mean, I don't know if anyone noticed our thumbnail from last time. It was AI generated.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It took me 6 times to ask ChatGPT to put a retro theme on it, have the Google logo in there. Well, I said not to do the Google logo, but it kept trying to do the Google logo. And then some more text underneath. But he got it wrong. It was like spelling Google with three O's. And
you think you
double G's. And that's the hallucination thing. It's like, where is it seeing that? Where in its vast knowledge, in its model, is it seeing that on the internet? Is someone misspelling Google somewhere on a website and it's picking it up? Notes in the comments in the sort of under the video, really, of what people think about AI and what's their experience on it. We'd like a few more comments. You know, even if you don't like what we're doing, tell us what we're doing wrong. But no, you know, comment in the video. Is AI good? Does it work? We all know it ain't gonna replace anybody anytime soon. Maybe HR. Because all they do is ask questions and they go through a very simple process of like weaning the CVs out. So if you just fed that into an AI,
because
less HR people.
90%. Well, they do that now. To be honest, I mean, because that's just by the company's sheer amount of CVs they receive. You know, you're not going to get people going through thousands of CVs.
No.
So they have to have something, but what they use today gets it wrong. So will AI improve that? So.
Well, who knows? But it's good for stuff like that. It ain't going to replace us anytime soon. You know, like
it's customer service. It's already there. We've got, chatbots.
Chatbots, which we all love, don't we?
Not.
So Claude AI, I'd say check it out.
Yeah.
It's different. It's basic in terms of it can't do images and other things, but it will write you an essay if you want, or help you write a story and stuff like that. But I think the coding element on Claude AI seems to just hit ChatGPT where it hurts. So, hey, you know what? It's good to have different AIs and products out there which compete with. Competition's good. That's what I'd say. So, you check it out, and you guys check it out and tell me what you think. What else we got?
Well, what did you do this week then? So there was something that I must have talked you into doing this week.
I can't say anything because I've not told the wife yet.
Right, okay. Obviously, yeah, on the internet, a lot of leaks happened last weekend. So a lot of I came back from a day trip, and a lot of videos started playing on YouTube. Leaks. Retro Games Limited bringing out the Spectrum,
Yeah,
and then I think they had to make it official sooner than rather than later because it leaked all this. Yeah, so on Tuesday it were official, and we were able to order it, and I pre-ordered it. So in November, the Spectrum comes out from Retro Games. Now we did talk last week about Retro Games, so I got the 64 Maxi and the VIC 20 Maxi. Now I'm just gonna actually, because I think I talked about the Commodore 64. If you do have any of these, they do come with. They're not, and we'll talk about the Spectrum as well because I think they've got it. They've got the rubber keyboard. They've got the form factor.
yeah.
There's just because they can't get the branding, they don't have the trademark. They can't put Sinclair or well, obviously we looked at this last week, the VIC 20, but obviously guy in Romania, I managed to get Commodore VIC 20, and obviously the correct power. So yeah, I've made it more authentic myself. Otherwise, it says the VIC 20. People, a lot of people are not bothered with that, but it just makes it look more authentic.
It does make it look better, and
one thing I have noticed about it, and we'll go through it. We'll go through some of the games. Yeah, we're not going to go through game by game. There's other channels that are probably doing that.
So, what you're getting a fake Spectrum that looks like the rubber key Spectrum, and the keys look like they've got all the symbols on it, everything that you used to.
Yeah,
be
they
able
do
to
have.
pull up.
Yeah, and it looks true. It looks like for like.
Yeah.
Same,
It looks like the right size.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I mean, I must admit, I pre-ordered this and I didn't really check all that, but I mean, it just for the pricing. But so it emulates a 48 and a 128.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fully working replica keyboard, like we said. It's got 48 games, and we'll go through it. But like, it's got Manic Miner, The Hobbit, and Head Over Heels. I mean, like straight away, that just like, I want some of that. Multi-region, 70. So it's a 720 HD, which do you need full HD for something like that?
Probably not for Spectrum games.
HDMI, PAL 50 and 60 Hz. So you've got your multi-region there. So America, you're sorted in terms of NTSC. You can play in the 4:3 or pixel perfect aspect ratio.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what that'll be, but that's with or without CRT filters as well. So
yeah,
like,
so it's going to have
the sort of filter over the top of
if
it.
you've got a
which I
wide
like.
screen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. You've got 12 attractive frames to surround the gameplay. So while you're playing the game in a 4:3, you get your thing. A bit like your arcade, which we will review. And we'll be reviewing you in coming weeks. Save games, and now this bit, I believe, and it's another tangent, games were much harder when we were playing them back in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was, what's the wording they call it now, where you get so far and you die and you can't progress, you have to start again. It eludes me. It basically, it's you get so far and you lose your life or your energy, and that's it. You have to start from scratch, and I'm sure there'll be comments in there. But this is like save games at any point, and you've got 4 slots per game, and then you can rewind.
Yeah.
Now you've seen this. I've not seen this.
Yeah, I've seen this because so it's basically taking snapshots as you're playing the game. So it'll do so many snapshots at a time.
And you can rewind it back 20 seconds. 20 seconds. I mean, that would have been ideal back in the day, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You got 3 lives where you get an energy bar, and then you basically die. And still, the term eludes me, but there you go. You can play games. So if you own your other Spectrum games, you can put them on a USB drive.
Yeah, which you can do. Again, it's similar vein to the VIC 20 and the C64 and the Amiga that's out there as well. So it's exactly the same vein. But I mean, what's interesting is because of the footprint, they didn't make a mini version. They've just gone with a full. Do you know what? It's full version. Now, one thing, if you want authenticity, it's not going to be. So I've got, and I'm going to talk about. Well, so these are now my dust covers. Basically, it's a clear tablecloth from one of the big supermarkets in the UK. It keeps it nice and clean. Now, if you look at this, so I imagine it. So the footprint's exactly the same. It's got the 3 USB ports at the back. It's got an extra USB port there and power. This is actually made by a company called Elite. Now they brought out an emulator to go with this. I think it cost about £100 years ago, and it does work with other spec emulators, and it's a Bluetooth, but it's not. No way is that, that's not a product, so there's no games inside it. It just is literally a keyboard. But they've got the Sinclair logo. So because it's raised, it said a ZX Spectrum Sinclair. This doesn't. So if you look, it's got.
It says I think it says retro and the Spectrum.
The Spectrum. So like that said, the VIC-20, the Commodore 64. It's retro because obviously they've not got the trademark.
So where you'd normally have Sinclair. Now we'll take a picture and you'll better see it where it says Sinclair there. Obviously that's a raised piece of material. So I'm sure someone will come up with some aftermarket badges. But the problem is, it ain't going to look like that, is it?
Well, it's raised, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm not sure what you're going to be able to do unless you put a plate over the top.
Have to be a plate or something like that.
Oh, does it matter? I mean, I'm thinking, because I'm looking at that, if it splits in half, can I put the top half of this, can I put the shell over the other one to make it authentic? End of the day, does it, or do I care?
Does it matter that much?
Because I've got this, do I care? I mean, this is not an original, this is not a Spectrum. This is a Bluetooth keyboard, which... we'll talk about retro keyboards later anyway, about stuff like that. But and I'm surprised nobody else has come out with this. But I do like this. It's really nice. I don't think the app though that came with this works anymore.
Oh, does it not?
No,
it's not been.
So it's not being developed, which is a shame. But it does work with some of the other sort of emulators. But yeah, so that's the only thing. It's not got the branding. It looks good. School Days is on it, which is one of my
School Days, and it might not be it won't be in this topic, but I know we talked about recreating a game, and do you know what? Would be School Days be out of our technical knowledge in terms of?
I remember years ago we created using Graphic Adventure Creator on the Spectrum. Me and a friend, we did create half of a game called Nightmare, which were basically based on based on School Days, but it were graphic adventure. So it had the classrooms,
more of a horror classic,
horror classic, because Nightmare being hang on, I'm back at school, sort of thing. But sort of thing, and it pretty good. And now, well, obviously the success of School Days is you could rename the characters.
Yeah.
So if you were at school at the time, you've got your teachers in there, you've got the bullies in that.
All the bullies' names in there.
And so that's on there. That's brilliant. I don't know about Back to School, which is the sequel, but certainly School Days is on there. I'm impressed that some of the games have licensed, and that they've got some new games on there as well.
Licensing old games like that, I don't know how easy it is to do, but kudos to them. But so when you sent me the message, like, you can pre-order it. You don't have to pay for it until it's 22nd of November. It comes out, well, officially. So Friday, 22nd of November, and it's $89.99.
Yeah. Now the thing is, in the UK,
roughly about $100.
This is also been publicised by Crash.
Yeah. So anybody remembers the Crash magazine of old?
Yeah. Well, I've actually got because I do subscribe. So I actually subscribe to the Spectrum Next official. The one. Well, that's the only one at the moment. The Spectrum Next magazine. But again, that's Crash. So that's the 3rd edition. It's obviously not a full magazine.
No,
some people have sort of complained about that. I actually like that format. I think it's really great.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Take it with you. It's really good, and I've only just got to reading the first issue, and I've had it for 3 months. So
when you're looking at the screenshots in there, it makes me smile and seeing the old style screenshots, like a platformer or something, and it's reviewing them.
Yeah, so it is. So I've got a feeling that so Crash. So I don't know if some of the games are via You will get a magazine.
Yes, it's exclusive 32 page. So it's exclusive 32 page mini mag included, which is basically those, featuring new reviews of old games and Spectrum memories from the RGL team.
And I think it's actually a review of the games that you get on it, the 59 games that come with.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'll you know, before this is published, I better mention something to the wife about this.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. It's for price.
That's
really good.
I mean, it's good price for those that can't get a Spectrum Next or couldn't because the obviously the Kickstarter, obviously they're £300 odd and stuff. But I think for somebody that wants a Spectrum, an hardware Spectrum, without going out and buying a Spectrum, an original one, and having all the things that might go wrong with the older, they can just go out and get this, and
it's great.
And it's popular because it's been seen. They only made so many of the Vic 20 one, and they're sold out. You can't get them anymore. And they started rerunning the Commodore 64. I think they're very popular, and they was pre-ordered on. I'm trying to think of the toy superstore in the UK now, Smiths.
Oh, and it's sold out there.
Sold out within 48 hours.
Wow.
The pre-orders. And then Amazon now I've got pre-orders.
So it looks like from the back you've got full HDMI. It's not a mini HDMI. The 5-volt.
Power. Which you don't get. Now that's what I don't quite understand. Well, that it's not just there. It's everything. Everything.
Everyone's
now.
doing
a phone. Nothing comes with power supplies anymore. It's but if nothing's going to come with power supplies, eventually nobody's going to have one. Yeah, so you're back on Amazon buying a power supply.
Yeah, buying maybe one that will also not be compatible.
And I think that's wrong in a way because you're going to get be people who are going to, the parents are going to buy that, or the wife are going to buy that for the husband, or husband for the wife for Christmas, and they're not going to have a power supply.
So it's a 5-volt USB-C. So USB-C is fine.
Yeah.
But you've got your 5-volt USB-C, you've got your HDMI, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 USBs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
at the back. Yeah.
At the back. Doesn't tell you much else really, but I mean, I'll be honest with you.
It doesn't come with a gamepad or a joystick.
A joystick.
Like the others.
No.
However, I'm not sure it needs to.
I mean, how many do you need? I mean, I've got a retro gaming pad at home, and there's so many sort of like retro. In fact, the people who make this keyboard that we're going to talk about, they do retro joysticks and game pads and all that. The old
USB,
Nintendo game pads. It's USB. It'll work.
If you've got one of the
Put one of those in.
Yeah, you'll be able to.
They're cheap enough, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what I would say is the Spectrum, and the company is PlayOn. Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, it's actually Retro Games Limited.
Okay.
Even though it's got PlayOn.
PlayOn, so that's the brand.
Yeah, that's a brand. But Spectrum Games Limited are the ones that are producing these.
I'll put the link in the description so you can go have a look. There's the US link for Amazon and the UK. We aren't making any money off that, so don't worry about that. Although we should really, shouldn't we? We should say. So yeah, $89.99 US, probably about £100, or probably the same because we get ripped off.
And we will review it.
We will review this. This is definitely worth a review.
Although, I mean that leads on to the next story really. Why we can't review it on the because we're not going to be here when it comes out. We're actually going to be at the Crash Show.
Yes.
In November.
I'm excited.
And this is our second one. Yeah, we went. Did we get it last year or the year before? Because we went to the Amiga show
year
last
before.
Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to the Crash Show, which was an absolute brilliant event. Which is where you got your ZX Spectrum Plus 2 that you need. And same with me with the Amstrad. We did speak about that last week.
Yeah.
We'll probably go there and buy more things we might not use.
We were talking about that, and we talk about trying to improve things in the channel, and it seems like we probably need to start dumping some shorts out there, but I don't want to do it out of the sake of just doing it and not being able to provide good content. So we've done a little bit of a challenge. We're both going to have cameras. We're both going to go around videoing everything,
You've given me a challenge, a big shopping list of things that I'll need to buy.
Yeah, you need a power pack and a gimbal and stuff. But you know, you don't have to really. But yeah, so we're going to have a bit of a challenge, and we're going to upload the shorts through the day. So we're going to begin with how much do we think we're going to spend at these shows. It's never quite as little as we'd like.
No.
And how much do we end up spending at the end of the day? So we're gonna have a few shots. So at the beginning of the day, we're gonna both say how much we think we're gonna spend, and then we're gonna upload shots every time we do a purchase, large or small, and then at the end of it, we're gonna tally it up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dump some shots on there. We're gonna take some footage. Hopefully, get some mini interviews with a few people. I don't know who's gonna be there. We kind of bought the tickets, didn't we?
Yeah, so we got the early bird.
Yeah.
So we're going to be there. We know the ZX Spectrum next guys are going to be there. We know the guy. We chat with the guy that made the quill.
Oh yeah,
I think
Quill,
he's there because there's an adventure section.
So there'll be a few people, and well, we'll ask them before you know you're all right going on YouTube and everything.
And
most people don't care.
There's people. Last time there were people there wanting to go through some of the games that they were developing, gaining feedback.
Yeah,
they were hard.
They were hard games. Yeah. That's what I mean. You know, back in the day, you know, those games were harder.
So back in our day, what's your feedback? Well, I don't know because I can't get very far.
No, we go down. Mine, do mining for 12 hours, come back up. We're talking about remining, not Minecraft or coal mining. 12-year-old kids going down, no breakfast, no dinner, just an apple for tea, and then we'd spend an hour on the computer before going to bed. I mean, I'm only joking, but that
sounds like a good game.
It doesn't it? Yeah. Just like actually, that might be a good game. That. Yeah.
So that's Crash Live 2024. We'll be going to. So that's on Saturday, the 23rd of November. Hopefully we'll upload some live shorts, and then we'll do a full show.
We'll try to do a bit of a pre-show, talk what we think we're going to see. We'll upload some shorts through the day. We'll try to do some live as well, just walking around. I think some people get a little bit sort of nervous about being shown live on YouTube, so we'll just show you the sort of the floor, what's available. And then we'll do a after show and see the spoils of our war. Who knows?
Yeah. While you're doing that, we're going to also in October, early October. So 7th of October, week commencing 7th of October, we're also going to be at the Centre of Computing History in Cambridge. Now I have been there. I went there a few years ago. I was very, very impressed. Their YouTube channel is really good. It's been set up really well. It's been going for about 7 to 10 years now. Their YouTube channel.
I bet they don't have 2-year gaps as well.
Probably not, but they've got a lot of archives. So there's a lot of BBC shows, old BBC shows from the 80s on there. They've done a lot of sort of shows and documentary on the BBC Micro, which. If you actually go to the event, which we will be going, we'll probably show you. Actually, we'd film it. That it's like you walk into one of the rooms and it just takes you back into when we were talking the other night when we in 1991 we went to do in the country a sitting guilds sort of certification in computer programming on the BBC and the classroom was basically we'd left school by then, so we were a college night school. And they were just all BBCs because obviously when we were at school, it was wheel out the trolley with your one BBC
micro, two if you're lucky, you might get two like micros.
But I walked into this room and it just took me back to that event of God. I've come back to doing the sitting guilds, BBC. And you can sit down, you can go on them. But it really is a good place to go, and it's worth going if you can. But we're going to be there as well. So we're travelling about as we did say.
We're going to do a road, a couple of at least minimum 2 road trips this year, and then I'm sure we'll find some more next year. We'll post as much videos and much information because some people might not go to these shows and thinking that they're not worth doing. honestly, we'll show you exactly what it's like and what's available to buy there and what goes on in those things. We'll try to get as many sort of mini interviews as we can. If we can get people to one side and have a proper conversation and record it, we'll do it, won't we?
Yeah.
We might have some T-shirts by then.
Yeah, we might have some. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to.
We're thinking a design and logo. Do we go brash or do we just get some really good? You know, do people need to take us serious or not? I suppose it depends how we're going to be interviewed or not. So we're going to try and do happy medium.
Serious? We've been told we're too serious. So
have we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a comment once where like, you guys can smile, you know.
Yeah. But we were talking about Microsoft.
No, yeah.
Possibly, or Oracle, or some other corporate.
Corporate. Yeah. But yeah, we've got that to see. We'll do as much video as we can. We're going to take some equipment with us, so we've got plenty of ways of getting it up to you guys. Probably not this time round, but you know, as we do start doing more live stuff like that, we might start doing a few live shows potentially next year as well. As a sideline, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting there and seeing what's available, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We'll post loads of videos. Again, comments. If you're watching, stick a little comment in there. Stick a little like. We're just going to remind people. Please subscribe. Stick that little like on there. I mean, we're all sort of guilty for not doing that, but as a channel, we are seeing active viewers. So we'd like to see that. You know, if you really want to support us, comment on what you want to see, what you don't want to see. It might be just I don't want to see us at all. Yeah, just shut down your channel and just don't bother.
Yeah, if you want to abuse us.
Yeah. We're old enough to take it, aren't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, but like and subscribe if you're liking our content, and just tell us what you want to see next. Yeah. So I had to put that in there. So shows. Now, I've been doing a bit of digging around, and I'm like, I've got a mechanical nice gaming keyboard. Spent about £80 on it, so not a lot of money. It's got the flashing RGB. It's got the clicky keyboard,
which we all want.
We all want.
And for us, it probably harks back to, as we said last week, to the to all of them really, the mechanical keyboards and all the 8-bit computers, but you know the BBC again.
IBM buckle springs.
Oh god, yeah, the IBM.
You can't. I mean, I know people have
keyboards.
Yeah. I mean, so I've been having a look round and I found. Let's put it this way: it's a retro keyboard, but it's not. It's been pre-built, and I think some people would have heard of 8-bit do.com. They do all sorts of stuff. In fact, I've got like a big Nintendo style controller with arcade buttons. So it's like taking your arcade set of buttons and sticking them onto a controller. So it's great. So I looking at this. It's the 8-bit retro mechanical keyboard M edition, and we'll put a link up there and everything and some photos so you can have a look. But the one I'm looking at is basically, it's supposed to be like an IBM-esque style keyboard.
Yeah, it's got some weird dials.
Yeah, it has got some switches on there. It's for Bluetooth.
Yeah, we'll put a picture up there.
It's the other one's for volume as well. I mean, I actually do. I mean, I'm one of these people who I nothing worse than clicking on the screen,
the icon on bottom,
scrolling it down or up. I think it was about £10 from AliExpress, and it's a metal box, really solid, nice toggle on the top, and it's LED lit.
Yeah.
And you push it down to mute or push it down to unmute, and then you've got the volume control. That's all it does.
And does it work?
It's brilliant.
Lag? Is there any lag on it?
No lag.
Yeah. Okay.
No lag. And it's just like, why would you have a volume control on your desk? It's great. Someone comes waltzing in, like, you know, and you're trying to listen to something, you can just knock the button and just stop it and stuff. So having a volume control on a keyboard seems a little bit weird, but actually it's quite useful.
Yeah.
Not having to do shift and F1 and God knows what else. The colour's quite good. I like the colour. I mean,
What, the IBM beige?
IBM beige.
Now, I didn't think we'd ever say, the colour's good, IBM beige.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that the keys are hot swappable. And it's got a magnetic sort of wireless adapter at the back as well, which I think it looks quite good, and it's compatible with Windows and Android.
Okay, that's
So
weird.
I'd say it probably would work with Linux. If it works with Android, it should work, and vice versa. Generally speaking, it kind of works. It's not a licensed IBM keyboard or anything like that.
So they've not done a Mac OS version?
No, and I don't know whether you could plug it into your Mac and it'd just work. You just obviously certain keys might not be right on there. It's also got these what they call super duper buttons.
Oh, they're these big round.
Big round, and it's programmable, so you can just decide what you're going to do.
That looks like a whack-a-mole thing.
Well, it is,
and
again,
where you've got a little hammer and
pictures I will put in, and it's like, why?
Yeah, what is it?
I mean, it's programmable, and you can put labels. It's got labels, and you can stick labels on like control. But why would you want a big control button? I don't know about that. I don't know why you'd have them two big buttons on there. But maybe if you're a bit of an old school gamer or something, you'd use them. But
do they rotate?
Yeah, you can rotate them. Yeah.
So is it like your volume button?
Oh, sorry, no. You can rotate you can pivot it on your desk. So, but you can't. No, they're just
press
push down,
big massive push down. But well, not that big.
Well, if you want to design a whack-a-mole with two buttons, I suppose you could do. And it's got the software, so you can map and you got your macros in there. They do the C64 version as well.
Oh, okay.
Which I'll put a link up. So they've got a few different versions. I mean, when you look at it, it is pretty much the same keyboard, but they've relabeled it and reskinned it. So see it as it is. I've not seen many people look at these and review them. Almost tempted to grab one. I mean, 8-bit Door, 8-bit Dior. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. If you fancy sending us one, just say.
Because what I'd like to know is the lag, because I've had a mechanical keyboard, Bluetooth, a slight lag. It worked for Windows and Mac OS. I had it on the Mac, but the problem is it went to sleep after. So if you're doing something on your mouse, it got to sleep after 20-30 seconds, and there were no way of being able to change that. Even though you could, you were supposed to be able to turn it off, but it never switched off. It then wait a minute and then go into sleep, and then you'd be typing away, and for it to wake up, it'd take at least 5-6 seconds.
You mean it actually got to sleep while you're typing?
No, no, it wouldn't. It got to sleep because obviously it's conserving charge. But to wake up again, it just went to sleep too much, and then to wake it up, you're typing away. It wasn't instant, so 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. Whereas, you get the, going back to Mac, you get their Bluetooth charge. Yeah, it goes to sleep. It's almost instant. It's probably about a second or so, but.
Maybe
and it used to annoy me, so I just sold it. And that were about £90 as well. But I did love the mechanical.
The only thing I would say is it's got a USB connector.
Yeah.
It's got, I did just see it. It's 2.4 gigahertz adapter, so you can do Bluetooth or 2.4 gigahertz, depending on what your Wi-Fi signals are like around there as well. But it also plugs in on USB. So.
So you don't have to power.
You don't have to power it. Soft batteries only.
I mean, is it USB powered as well then, or do we know?
It doesn't actually say on the website.
Obviously, then do the controls at the top, the volume buttons, are they then not going to work if it's plugged in?
Oh, they should do. Yeah, they should do. Yeah, but I mean, I'd be tempted to grab one of these because I want a different keyboard, but it's not a full keyboard, so there's no numeric keypad. Actually, I kind of do use that, but they do a separate one.
Yeah.
So it might be worth looking at. It has got a 2000 milliamp battery, so that should, rechargeable. 2000 milliamp. It's lasted a while.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 months worth out of that, surely. Oh, it says 200 hours with 4 hours charging time. 4 hours charging time. That's quite a lot, to be honest. So you can pre-order that from their website. It says pre-order anyway. So I'll put a link up on there. The buttons are about a tenner, about
Yeah.
$9.
They do a lot of. I've noticed they do a lot of game controllers.
They
When you go
do.
on their
That's what I'm
website,
saying.
yeah,
They do a
yeah.
lot of retro game controls, and I've got one of the Nintendo. It's a Nintendo style, but it's like looks like an arcade controller. In fact, I'm saying pre-order. You can order that. It's the extra buttons and extra features that
They
you can
even
add.
do. Like, it looks like a calculator, but is that what you're talking about?
It's-
The extra key.
do you know
the
what?
numeric keypad.
It's a numeric keypad.
Like that, now that I do want.
You press a button, and it's got a display on
Yeah.
it, and I will put a link up, and you can turn it into a calculator.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks. Yeah, when I'm looking at that, you're gonna put a link up, but when I'm looking at that, it just.
I like that.
I do like that.
And it's weird. You look at it and think, well, why do you want a calculator when you've got a calculator in your computer? All right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Quiet, smart, not smart AI. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm tempted, and I do like that numeric keypad.
Yeah.
You know, if you I mean, how quickly is it to bring up a calculator? Start, scrolling, find calculator, or start, or click on search, calculator. But you just press that and you can just. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like. I don't know what it is about that.
But
Is it a completely useless feature
I don't know
having
if you buy
numeric
that.
keypad?
You're more likely to buy that and buy the keyboard than
Yeah.
that, or vice versa. So I think
It's enticing.
it is. So if I'm just clicking on the. So it's £40. So the numeric keypad's £40 from Amazon UK.
Yeah, and they are mechanical keys. So I mean, do people use that terminology to try to charge you extra? Depends how good they are, I guess. I'll link it on there. It is actually available. It's the extra. There's a few extras that aren't available. So the keyboard at the moment is going on Amazon for £85.
Okay.
So that's not bad, is it? And you get two super duper programmable buttons. I mean,
It would have been good if they did a bundle where you got that and the keypad.
oh, you can. I mean, there is
Numeric
a kind of a semi bundle, but
yeah,
it's not.
You'd think if that, they probably could do a bundle.
So 124 quid gives you the numeric keyboard and the full keyboard as well. Yeah. I'll put the link in there, and there is a US version as well. So the links will be in there, and we won't get any money from them either.
You can even get the store. I mean, it's you go down rabbit holes when you look at this. I mean, you can even get storage bags for the keypad. It's sort of, if you want to be professional and turn up to work one day and get out, you know what?
Unzip it, put it there. Yeah.
Maybe if you work in accountancy.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I use the numeric keypad a lot. So
I do. I just have to remember it's there. I don't use it as
Yeah.
much as I used to do, but I do. And I don't know. I have to remember it's there because it is there.
Yeah.
But I do use it.
Not sure. I mean, I like it. There are different versions. Have a look. And feel free to send us one to review, maybe. Just saying, we're only a small channel, but So yeah, that's something that I've been going down on a rabbit hole recently, looking for a mechanical keyboard, and I like that. Gets a bit of a heated debate on Reddit when they talk about it. They talk about that's nothing like a IBM keyboard, and it's the same, but they've just put an IBM-esque look to it. Well, yeah, of course they have.
Yeah. But if you want an IBM keyboard, just go on eBay and buy one.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's what
just
you
get an
want.
adapter, plug it in, and hope for the best.
But if you want something with the mod cons, it's wireless.
It's worth looking at.
It's definitely worth
It's not
looking
expensive.
at,
You're not spending 200 quid on it, $250 or whatever. Windows, ARM.
Yeah, we did chat about this the other night, and we added this has been added at the last minute, really, just because I saw a review of the new, obviously Surface that had come out, and obviously their new ARM. Obviously, Apple, both Apple and Microsoft are looking at, been looking at ARM, and Microsoft have been looking at ARM for years.
Well, didn't they try it a while back? What chip did they use? They used a different chipset. It was a non. Wasn't there a few when they brought out Windows 8?
Well, they bought Windows RT, didn't they?
Yeah, RT.
Which basically you could only use modern Windows apps,
Yeah.
and which was because at that time no developers brought any
Metro.
modern apps, yeah,
Yeah.
modern apps out, and that was and again that was the downfall of the Windows Phone as well, really,
Yeah.
because they were hoping for unified app development. It just didn't work. Apple got there before them, and obviously, you're even Android or Apple, and you weren't going to ever go into an ecosystem. If you I think the people that were attracted to Windows were already in the Windows ecosystem, and if 95% of their applications are not going to work, they're not going to buy one. So they failed on that attempt. Now they did try again, like 2019, and again, I don't think, and it's about the right around the time that Apple did their ARM M1 chip, and again, I don't think they got it right. Again, compatibility wasn't there. I mean, the problem is with Microsoft, and Microsoft probably do deliberate this all the time, is that how the hell do we get rid of
it's legacy.
And the problem is, because it's so embedded out there in corporate world, it's hard to do that. But for consumers, how can you get rid of legacy?
I think the problem is, and I think one of the reasons why NT worked, and then having like Windows 98 second edition, all that separate, is you could have, and it becomes expensive, but you could have your Windows environment for your company, for all the organisations out there. And let's face it, that's where their bread and butter is. Well, you could argue Azure makes them money and nothing else these days, but that's a different story. But then you had like the home versions of OS. Now, there's no reason they couldn't do that again, and then they can say, right, we need the legacy for the businesses. There's people still running MS Access from 10, 20 years ago or whatever for the banks or whatever, but
it sort of takes away argument, because obviously a little way, because obviously they're so they one of their, when I looked at one of their top spec Surface Pros with ARM is £1,900.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the review, the games that work, they had 3 modes. You get native, worked brilliantly, but it seemed to me that probably only 50% of the applications, the other half, it tried to emulate. But I don't. For whatever reason, I don't think Microsoft have got their emulation right, because it was laggy.
Is it the chip or is it Microsoft?
I don't know. Don't know if it's. I think it's in software.
I know there's some audio issues out there. I've seen people review it, and they've had some weird stuff coming out the speakers and God knows what else.
There's definitely.
Was there a need for it though?
Delay. What for? Emulation
for the ARM. There's a need for it.
There is a need for it, because obviously, you can develop. Well, I suppose it depends on your chip manufacturers may beg to differ, but I think having a mobile device with an ARM chip can be more powerful. You can get more into everything into system on a chip, everything on one. ARM architecture is obviously much quicker, I would say, and again the battery life. So if you've got a laptop and it's lasting you 3-4 days, not 5 hours.
I mean, I'm seeing
6
people
hours,
say the week before they have to recharge, and you also got that bug where you used to be able to close your laptop lid and it suspend it, and you opened it up the next day and it'd fire up, it hibernates, and it'd come back up and it'd be ready to go with the same power charge. And people now are saying they close it, and they open it back up and it's been using power. So they open it back up next day, going into a meeting, going, I've got no charge. I mean, you could argue that people should check before going into sort of things, but this everyone's trying to save power, and and everyone's trying to innovate in making sure that you get more out of it. Is this whole I mean, this is probably another conversation to have. Is the whole IBM PC compatible architecture just so old and embedded, and how it works? Maybe
it is.
I like the idea of this ARM coming in, going, but we're the young hipster chip, and we're going to completely revolutionise what happens. Who knows? But like you say, there's a lot of issues.
There's still a lot of issues which are, and yeah, with Apple, I think, because I did move from an Intel based Apple device to M1. Well, I actually had both, so I got a cheap M1 sort of Apple MacBook Air, because obviously I do music on Mac based system. That's the only reason I got a Mac really. But before I got rid of the Intel, I sort of did them side by side, and sort of, the MacBook Air with 8 GB, probably the cheapest £800 against me £2,000, 32 GB Intel chip, and there were no difference, and the compatibility of software were very much because it uses.
Got it right. They've got it right.
They use it Rosetta.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you couldn't tell what we're using Rosetta and what wasn't, so you couldn't tell what were emulated. Whereas
you've got to give it to them.
Certainly on the Surface, on the review that I looked at on the Microsoft Surface, you can tell, and and I don't know. And again, why they're getting it so wrong.
I mean, the people saying that they can play games and some games work fine and some games work, but they're so laggy. They're talking about how slow it is, and it's like, but you put in ARM processors are supposed to be more efficient and everything, and if you haven't got that, if you're having to use the emulation, it's too slow. So, I mean, comments in below. What do you think? If anyone's got one, what's your experience? Is this something that's needed? I like the competition.
Yeah.
Because AMD. Well, if you look at, I was thinking about this the other day. Look at AMD and their early chips. Their Intel emulating chips. They were terrible.
Absolutely, yeah.
They were the worst piece of junk. AMD. I wouldn't have touched them with a 10-meter cattle prod.
But yeah.
Now,
well, you had three, didn't you, back in there? You had Cyrix as well.
Cyrix as well, yeah. But now, AMD all over it.
Yeah.
Certainly on a desktop.
Yeah.
With the cores and everything, I can't go wrong on an AMD at all, and the pricing's good. Laptops are a bit different story, but they got it right, and it took them, I'd say, a good 6 years, maybe more, to get it right. So maybe it's going to take a while before.
Is it too late though? By then, that's the thing.
I don't think so. I think we need more chip manufacturers mixing it up.
Yeah.
Intel have become lazy, and they've got issues.
Yeah,
which possibly we could talk about. AMD are doing okay, but I think they're slowing down production and don't really seem to be coming out with much.
Yeah. And Apple's not seen as a gaming platform either. So,
no.
So they're going to have to do. So they're going to have to do something.
They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a long road for the ARM chipsets. People need to buy the hardware though. They need to get it so that.
I do like them, and I do. It really looks nice. Looks premium quality. It needs to be in the price. It is expensive.
But like anything, it always starts high, and then hopefully it'll drop.
But I always, a lot of people, it's like Marmite. People either love or hate the Surface products. I've always liked them. To be fair,
they're okay.
The earlier ones did fall apart. The overheated, fall apart, and not very good at being serviced, so they weren't very good at being, again, in a massive.
But people are buying
scale,
them.
But the people
they're still coming out, so Microsoft are doing something right with that, with premium quality.
And I always liked the Surface Desktop as well. It really did look nice, and I was very tempted at some point of getting one, and getting a screen where you're pulling it down, it's touch. For artists and media creators. Yeah. So it was just. I've not seen one for a while.
No.
So I don't know where they are. Maybe it's something we can look at. What has happened to Surface as a.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can look at maybe the history of that. With that, I believe we are at the end. The director Kat has called it.
Yeah.
She's. That's it. We're done.
She wants to sleep.
She wants to sleep. So. All I'd ask is
like and subscribe, and hit that notification. But which is really weird that on YouTube you have to do that.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, but like and subscribe. But please comment. Whether you like us, whether you don't. If we're doing a good job, what would you like us to do better?
Yeah, and we're open to anything really. We are talking about tech and we are retro. We like talking about retro. Well, other than that, is a format good? Do you want it changing? Do you prefer a different route? Do you want to sit in as a coffee shop and have just a general conversation about this sort of thing?
Yeah, we should.
Or do you like the format?
Should have done one the other night when we had the Canadian guy on his Zoom call.
Yeah. Well, we we can't really talk about that, but yeah.
We can.
Well, we could, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe that's for the 18+ version.
That's the 18+ version. But there's another thing. You know, would you do a work Zoom call in the middle of a busy restroom, but yet then complain about the noise? Probably not.
No. Some people like to.
There you go.
There you go.
Leave it there.
Hit all those buttons. Show some love. We'll see you next time. My name's Dave.
And my name's Andy. Goodbye.
See you soon.